gently settling your body into a position that feels supported and secure, allowing the surface beneath you to hold your weight completely so you do not have to. And as your eyes close or soften, give yourself permission to stop scanning for danger, stop preparing, and stop bracing, because this session is devoted entirely to your body, not your thoughts, not your history, not your anticipation, but the physical system that has been trying to protect you through automatic reactions that no longer need to be in charge. Dental fear lives primarily in the body, expressed as tightness in the chest, gripping in the stomach, tension in the jaw and throat, changes in breathing, racing heart, and reflexive panic responses that feel as though they arrive without choice. And today, you are not trying to analyze or suppress these reactions, but to retrain the nervous system gently, directly, and effectively. Bring awareness to your breath as it is now, without changing it, simply noticing where it moves and where it hesitates, noticing how the body already knows how to breathe even when fear is present. This awareness alone begins signaling safety. Now allow your breath to lengthen slightly on the exhale, not through force, but through permission, as if you are letting air leave rather than pushing it out. And notice how the body responds almost immediately with a subtle release, because the nervous system interprets a longer exhale as a cue that emergency is ending. With each gentle exhale, imagine sending a signal downward through the spine that says slow down, stand down. You are not required to mobilize right now. As this rhythm continues, begin to notice areas of tension without trying to relax them yet, simply identifying where the body has been holding itself ready. Perhaps the shoulders lifted, the hands clenched, the tongue pressed, the legs braced, or the chest tight. These areas are not wrong. They are expressions of vigilance that once felt necessary. Now, as you breathe, imagine warmth spreading slowly through these tense areas, not melting them instantly, but softening them gradually, allowing muscles to loosen at their own pace. Let the jaw become heavier, the tongue resting easily, the throat open and unobstructed, teaching the body that swallowing, breathing, and relaxing can coexist safely. Bring attention now to the chest and heart area, noticing the rhythm present there, and remind the body that increased heart rate does not mean danger. It means energy, and energy can settle when it is not resisted. With each breath, imagine the heart rhythm smoothing, not because you demand calm, but because resistance is fatting. Now move awareness down into the stomach and abdomen, areas that often tighten in dental fear, and imagine breathing gently into this space, allowing the belly to expand and contract naturally, reassuring the vagus nerve that the body is safe, grounded, and supported. If gag reflex sensations are familiar to you, imagine the throat and diaphragm working together fluidly, coordinated, and calm, because these reflexes quiet when the nervous system is reassured. As the breath continues, introduce a progressive release, beginning at the top of the head and moving slowly downward. Imagine the scalp loosening, the forehead smoothing, the eyes resting comfortably in their feel how facial relaxation sends a powerful message to the brain that panic is unnecessary. Allow this release to travel down the neck, shoulders, arms, and hands, noticing how heaviness replaces readiness. With each exhale, let the chest soften further, ribs moving freely, lungs expanding without strain. Allow the wave of relaxation to move through the abdomen, hips, thighs, knees, calves, and feet, feeling the entire body becoming heavier and more supported. This heaviness is not weakness, it is safety. Now imagine that the body is learning a new pattern automatically, one where sensory input does not immediately trigger fight or flight, but instead passes through a calm filter that assesses and responds appropriately. Hypnosis allows this retraining to happen beneath conscious effort, directly at the level of reflex. As you rest here, imagine a dial within the nervous system that has been turned too high in dental environments, amplifying sensations and triggering urgency. Today, that dial is gently being turned down, not to numbness, but to accuracy. Sensations become signals rather than alarms. Tightness becomes information rather than threat. Breath becomes support rather than something to control. Imagine this recalibration happening naturally, without effort. Now picture yourself in a dental context only briefly and abstractly, while remaining deeply relaxed, noticing that the body stays softer than expected, breathing remains steady, reflexes quieter, heart rate manageable. If any tension arises in this imagined context, observe how quickly it settles when you allow it, rather than resist it. This teaches the body that escalation is optional. The nervous system begins to learn a critical lesson. It can shift out of fight or flight without waiting for the environment to change. This internal flexibility is the foundation of lasting calm. Continue breathing slowly, allowing each exhale to reinforce the message that emergency mode is no longer required. Imagine the sympathetic nervous system easing its grip while the parasympathetic system comes online, bringing digestion, relaxation, and balance back into prominence. Feel this shift physically, perhaps as warmth, heaviness, or spaciousness. These sensations are signs of regulation. Let them deepen. As the session continues, understand that calm is not something you create with thoughts, but something you allow by removing resistance. Your body already knows how to calm itself when given permission. Each time you practice this, the pathway strengthens, making future calm more automatic. Now imagine that even if unexpected sensations arise, your body responds differently than before, softening rather than bracing, breathing rather than panicking. This new response becomes familiar, rehearsed, and reliable. As you approach the end of this session, allow the body to rest in the experience of physical safety, feeling regulated, grounded, and intact. When you return your awareness outward, carry with you the embodied knowing that your nervous system is capable of calming itself automatically, that panic is not inevitable, and that your body is learning a new default state of steadiness that will continue to strengthen with repetition, making calm a physical reality rather than a mental goal. And as you linger in this steadiness, Let the body memorize it, not as a special state, but as a familiar baseline it can return to easily. Imagine this sense of regulation settling into muscle memory, breath memory, and reflex pathways, so that calm does not need to be recalled or forced. It simply emerges. Know that each future breath can quietly reconnect you to this pattern. Even in moments of anticipation or sensory input, the body remembers what safety feels like now. And this memory remains accessible, dependable, and automatic, continuing to integrate long after this session ends.